Why do you think animals in the wild die from starvation or from the teeth of predators? But they don't die from heart attacks, stomach ulcers, or strokes at 2 in the morning. It's 2 in the morning. You're lying in bed, tossing and turning. Maybe you have a life-changing meeting tomorrow. Maybe you have a job interview that could determine your future. Or maybe you have a financial obligation and you have no idea how you're going to pay it. You know, and you're convinced that you need to sleep right now so you can be focused tomorrow. But your mind won't shut down. You take a deep breath. You try to meditate. You focus on your breathing. You imagine a beach or some peaceful place. But the thought in your head is stronger than you. If things go wrong tomorrow, I'm finished. Every second that passes makes you more tense. Your heart starts beating faster. Do you know what's happening to your body and your brain in that moment? You are, in a very real sense, hurting yourself using a system that was originally designed to protect you and save your life. You are committing a kind of biological crime against yourself simply because you can't turn off your emergency system. One of the most fascinating scientists of the last few decades is Robert Sapolsky, a neuroscientist who has an incredible way of explaining these things. In his book, Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers, he explains that when you hear the word stress, you probably think about pressure, insomnia, work, or a financial crisis you're going through. The story we tell ourselves and the story popular culture has taught us is that stress is simply a negative emotion or an unpleasant mental state that ruins our mood. And the solution? Just relax. We treat stress as if it were a purely psychological problem, completely separate from chemistry and biology, as if your mind is playing its own game inside your head, while your heart, blood vessels, stomach, and immune system are doing something completely different underneath. So we tend to think of stress as something simple and cumulative. The more pressure you experience, the more damage you get. But the reality is much more complicated. When you become stressed in this way, your body doesn't really distinguish between your boss screaming at you in the office and a predator chasing you through the forest. Biologically, stress is a powerful emergency system. So when a zebra spots a lion, its brain immediately gives the order: stop spending energy on long-term projects. For example, there's no time to digest food right now, so digestion gets reduced. The immune system is dialed down because this is not the moment to fight an infection. If the lion eats you, it doesn't matter whether your immune system was ready to fight the flu. Even growth and reproduction become luxuries the body can temporarily put aside, because right now the body needs energy immediately. That energy is redirected toward the muscles that are running. Oxygen delivery increases, blood pressure rises. Stored sugar and fat are rapidly released into the bloodstream to fuel the muscles. This system is absolutely brilliant. It's incredibly efficient. And for an animal facing an immediate physical threat, it's almost perfect, because the animal's crisis usually lasts only a few minutes. Either the zebra escapes the lion and survives, and its body gradually returns to normal, or the lion catches it, and the story ends there. For an animal, stress is usually an intense physical emergency, but a short one. But you? You have a brain that is so incredibly intelligent that you can create an entire disaster in your head, down to the smallest cinematic detail. There's no lion chasing you. What's chasing you is fear of the future, fear of what other people think, endless analysis of terrible scenarios that haven't happened yet, and may never happen at all. And that creates a huge problem. The emergency system that was designed to operate for a few minutes to save your life, you can leave it switched on inside your body for months or even years. You're spending your body's emergency budget as if you're running a country at war. And eventually, other systems start paying the price. So let's look at the first terrifying and surprisingly deep cost of this constant exhaustion. There's a common misconception that stress always destroys your memory. The truth is more complicated. The relationship between stress and memory is a lot like a drug. A small dose can help you. Too much can poison you. When you experience mild, short-term stress, your brain basically says, I need to remember this moment so I don't make the same mistake again. So your body releases stress hormones that help strengthen the memory and connect it to the event. That's why you can remember the details of a traumatic event with incredible precision. Your brain was trying to teach you a lesson for the future. But when stress becomes chronic and constant, those same hormones can become harmful. When stress stays switched on for weeks or months, the entire situation changes. The dose has become the poison. Your body continues pumping out stress hormones at high levels. And do you know what those hormones can do to your brain? They affect the hippocampus, the part of your brain that plays a major role in memory and learning. And under chronic stress, this system can suffer. You start forgetting where you put your things. You struggle to concentrate. You experience brain fog without even understanding why. It's not necessarily that you're simply getting older. You may be constantly putting your memory and attention systems under stress because you can't turn the alarm off. And if you still don't believe how powerful the mind can be over the body, there's a strange phenomenon that has been discussed in medicine and anthropology, so-called voodoo death, sometimes described as psychological or psychogenic death. In some cultures, people have had an intense and unquestioning belief in curses, magic, or voodoo. Imagine a tribal leader or shaman placing a death curse on someone and convincing that person that they are going to die. There have been historical reports of people actually dying afterward. The important lesson isn't that magic killed them. It's that extreme psychological terror can have powerful effects on the body. The person's brain and nervous system become convinced that death is coming, and the emergency system can respond with extreme intensity. A massive surge of adrenaline and other stress responses can place enormous strain on the cardiovascular system. The heart doesn't simply explode. Instead, under extreme circumstances, its electrical activity can become dangerously abnormal, and in rare cases, the heart can suddenly stop. Think about how powerful the system you're playing with really is when you allow your thoughts and your everyday worries to take control. So when you wake up in the middle of the night with anxiety, your heart is racing, your stomach is turning, your brain feels like it's overheating. Take a breath and ask yourself one question. Is the danger threatening me right now a real lion standing in front of my bed, threatening my biological survival at this exact moment? Or am I simply an extremely intelligent creature punishing my own body with an emergency system because of an uncertain future that hasn't happened yet and might never happen? Sapolsky's message is ultimately simple. You don't have to change your entire life overnight, but you do have to make a real decision, not tomorrow, now. Give yourself time every single day, even if it's only 30 minutes, to turn that alarm off. Build real social connections. Something as simple as having strong relationships with other people can have a profound effect on your health. And here's the beautiful paradox. When you help someone else, you help yourself too. Giving support to other people can heal something inside you before it even changes the person standing in front of you. Your brain can shrink under chronic stress, but it can also recover and adapt. Your heart can be pushed into chaos by extreme fear, but it can also return to a calmer rhythm. The point isn't to never feel afraid. The point is to never hand over the keys to your body to an idea about an uncertain future. And let it drive you.